What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Iron Obsession podcast. Today, I am joined by Bobby. Instagram will be under here for him, and we met on my Discord server that I set up for the show probably a couple months ago now. We got about, I think, 20 or 30 guys in there. Good little community going. I'll be looking to bring on some of the guys from the server in the next couple of weeks here and get their stories to share with you guys. So we're just going to go into Bobby's intro here. You may recognize him from a physique critique that did on Blood, Sweat, and Gear with that was with Scott, Skip, and Andrew, right?
Correct.
All right. So let's just go over a little bit of your background, what got you into bodybuilding, and how long you've been competing for, just the basics.
Okay, so basically, when I was younger, I just kind of fell with the wrong crowd. I ended up getting incarcerated, and I just, when you're in there, you don't really have many options. So it's either like I'm either going to get fat or I'm going to get fit. So I found a passion for working out.
Yeah.
But finding that passion for working out, and I was just a stupid long workouts, like probably about 3 hour. All the good stuff, just pumping blood to muscles that don't really exist yet.
Just doing it for the love of the game at that point.
Just doing it for the love of the game. I didn't know anything about nutrition. I'm probably getting about 100 grams of protein in there.
Oh, man.
Who knows how many carbs? I mean, honestly, I would say the majority of the calories in there from bread and butter.
Okay.
Like skim milk was like for breakfast every day, so that was actually like, okay, I'm gonna get like four cups of skim milk because this is basically my protein intake for the day.
Yeah. Did you ever notice? Not to cut you off, but there's a lot of guys who did at least a little bit of time who go to my gym, and I'll notice like they'll have these they'll call them prison workouts, and it'll be like they'll have a deck of cards and do some interesting stuff with that. Like, were there some really creative routines you would see people do that like you kind of took a little bit away from, or anything like that?
So we used to do like burpees, but I can't do burpees now.
I'd throw up
something and pull something, but I'm not that mobile anymore. But thankfully, the place that I went to, we had weights. They were just all shutting down, so it was we felt super hardcore. But you're also training outside.
Yeah.
So it's like if it's blazing hot outside. Or if I'd be working on blizzards sometime. And it's like, that's how you know you really fucking want it.
Yeah.
So we got snow coming in sideways, there's ice on the ground. You're like, well, I got to try to get this, For me at the time, I was like, okay, like 2 plates, 3 plate squats, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, I got to try to get this. You got wind basically like shaking you around, shaking all the chains on the bars.
Oh, so you had chains and stuff too. That's interesting.
Well, it was chained down. So
okay. different kind of chains. But,
hey, same idea though. I felt like brain born training out there.
Yeah. So interesting kind of interesting segue there is I feel like that's a lot of that type of workout style is kind of what you'll see with the popular Diamond Gym thing that's going on right now. Are you able to kind of like relate with that a little bit, like it's kind of because I am personally, because like I said, a lot of those guys go to my gym that I run, and I'm like, okay, I can look at Diamond Gym, it's like I know where this is coming from. These guys are not necessarily training to be bodybuilders or powerlifters or whatever. They're just training just to have some hard shit in their life because they just want to feel that pain.
So I can relate to that point, and how they'll refer to their workout crew as cars.
Yeah.
So that's actually the same terminology that we would use too. Like, this is my workout car.
Yeah.
However, I'm so moved past that. It doesn't even feel like it was real. I'm just like, I know it happened. But I appreciate the mentality of Diamond Gym, but I don't appreciate the I want to say the mockery that they use in there.
The performative nature of everything.
Yeah, well, let me say like it's almost like threatening someone's manhood because they
Oh
don't
yeah,
want like because they want to take a drink of water.
yeah, that's
And I'm just
ridiculous.
like, bro, why are you acting like that? You're doing too much. I mean, some of the guys in there, they were like doing like their little skin scarf, like half
Yeah,
naked photos. Like, dog, you're not really about that life.
yeah. It's like one of the main
You
guys
can
is like
pretend
a
like you are.
yeah, one of the main guys is like a men's physique athlete or something. It's like no disrespect to them, but like I mean, it is what it is. It's not the most hardcore thing in the world.
I mean, I'll get hate for this. I don't really care. I think the only division that shouldn't be able to show their legs off is considered fucking wheelchairs. And I got that from Luke Samuel.
Preach,
So
man.
if someone wants to come at me for that, they can go to his grave and come at him for that.
Hey, you said it, so I didn't have to, but I completely agree, man. It's I have respect for anybody that steps on stage, but I feel like there's a lot of things that can change in both classic and men's physique that I think would make it a bit better. Like there's just some issues with it. I really think the only division that is truly getting it right when it comes to presentation and everything like that is bodybuilding. That's just how it is.
Absolutely. So when it comes to presentation, oh man, I could go on and on about this. A huge issue I see. I'll start with the classic division because I pay a little bit more attention to that because physique. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I couldn't even tell you who won the Olympia. So classic physique. I think there's too many guys out. I want to say outside maybe the top 7 at the O.
Yes.
They look like
Maybe
smaller versions of bodybuilding.
maybe top 10.
Maybe top.
I'll give them that.
Yeah, maybe top 10.
Yeah.
But they just look like smaller versions of bodybuilding.
Yes.
And you see them get their like the pro card wherever they get it, and you're like, that's a bodybuilder's physique.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just not filled out.
You're just it's not filled out yet. It's like, and that's why I almost have this like idea of like why even have necessarily a weight cap on it. But maybe you have to have a look because that weight cap leaves too much room.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I'll say so. Like Urs, for example, I don't think Urs necessarily even had a classic looking physique,
I can agree with that.
even when he was younger, because it
was kind of boxy.
it looked hollow of what it could be. It's kind of boxy. The way he used to twist,
Yeah.
it made his hips look wide.
Yes.
Because the way his hips are, we almost have like a similar. I want to say like right above the hips where the abs come in.
Yeah.
It almost like curves in.
Yeah, I can see what you mean.
So when he pulls that vacuum and turns to the side, it's like you just made your hips look wider.
Yeah.
And your stomach looks smaller, but you still got the bone.
Yeah.
So I think he looks amazing and open though.
Oh yeah, I think he looks more classic and open.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I honestly I think like I mean, people say it all the time, and this is basically coming from you too. Is the best bodybuilders are the ones that came from classic or that had that classic shape.
Yeah, because like really,
if
what is a good bodybuilder? Size, symmetry, proportion, conditioning. Like these are all the things that the classic guys exemplify. They just add weight.
And maybe the old heads will shut the fuck up. If these classic guys decide that they're like, okay, I want to be a bodybuilder.
Yeah, and you see that a little bit with Urs. Well, do they really praise him? Just I don't really watch a lot of like Sean Ray, Bob, all those guys.
I don't. Honestly, sometimes I'm worried because I don't really watch.
Yeah.
Sometimes because I like I'll just follow them on Instagram.
Yeah.
And I'll just kind of see them shit. Like, they'll just make a post. And they just like, shit. Oh, all these guys like shit. And say, man, you guys didn't look that great either most of the time.
No, half the time it was just the camera filter doing them justice. You know?
It wasn't even a camera filter. The camera was just so shitty.
Yeah.
Yeah, the actual quality was great.
Yeah, literally. It's like if you take the intensity and the grain and the sharpness features on your phone and turn it all the way up, that's what happens.
Yeah, it's basically what an old Nokia, camera.
Yeah. But in terms of that
But
presentation, I like for me something that doesn't make sense for classic is okay. Why are we going to have 5 poses in classic and 7 in bodybuilding? Shouldn't classic be more about that artistry of displaying your physique? Like that doesn't make sense to me. Like I feel like we should have 10 poses in classic.
so this is what I noticed, right? And maybe you notice it, or maybe you'll start to notice it after I say this. The poses they don't have in classic that they do have in bodybuilding show off how shallow the classic physiques look.
Yes, that is very true. I don't know which podcast because I've
So
recorded a few this week. I don't remember which one it is, but we would talk about God, who was it? I think it was either Brandow or like somebody like him. You basically would see it was basically the people who are like really tall, kind of like Quentin Brandow, um, guys like that. You would see in their lat spreads, the front and the rear lat spreads, there would be these gaps.
those are the exact ones I'm talking about too.
Yes, and it's like on one hand, those gaps kind of almost provide like a sense of flow and like this sense
Mhm.
of accentuating a shape. But on the other hand, it also shows you that this muscle is literally just missing.
Yep. I 1000. I think the rear lat spread and the most muscular is where they really get exposed.
Yeah.
Um, rear or front lat, um, not necessarily as much because I think the back is such a big muscle.
Yeah.
And the reason I bring that up is because it's going to take up so much weight. The bigger the
Yeah.
muscle, the more weight it's going to take to fill it out.
Same with legs.
So, yeah. So, and I mean, a lot of classic dudes, the legs are downsized.
Yeah. And then
Um,
some their legs are like the only thing they have. It's like a Tom Platz physique, especially like at the amateur level. You tend to see that a lot.
but at the amateur level, you're just like, man, you
It's
clearly just fit in the weight cap.
yeah, it's all over the place.
you, what are you doing over there?
Dude, like
Um,
I wanted to do classic for a while before like I realized okay I don't have bird bones. Like I was 197 my last show, and I think my weight cap's like 196. So technically they shouldn't even let me got up there, but it's just I don't know what half the time they're choosing to judge in that division because on one hand you'll hear guys like Steve Weinberger will say oh it's just bodybuilding with a weight cap, which to me that's kind of shitty, right? But I just don't really know what look they're going for. Like, is it a 90s classic, an 80s classic, or a 70s classic? Because a lot of the times it would be just what I would see personally at the amateur, like the shows that I've been to, it would be they didn't really care too much for conditioning. They kind of wanted like a lower body dominant, not super conditioned look at the shows that I were at. Which, to be fair, the shows that I were at was not super high level by any means. At a national level, it's conditioning. But it's just strange to me that there is that difference in judging
disparity, huh?
criteria. Yeah, disparity. Perfect way to say it. Yeah.
Um, so the shows that I compete at, or the shows that I've watched, I'll just reference the amateur one, like the amateur low level, state.
Yeah.
Um, I would say they always, for the classic guys, I noticed they actually would they would lean a little bit more towards conditioning.
Okay.
Um, and someone who could pull a vacuum.
Yes. Yeah. I don't think you're going to see somebody win in
I mean,
classic who can't pull a vacuum. Maybe rarely.
well, I mean, what? I mean, let's see, Breon. Breon,
Yeah.
he was a classic Olympia champ, and he didn't have a vacuum for a while.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
But no, I sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying that could be just because how early he was into the division. Like they were still kind of like establishing, like, okay, what is this gonna be?
Yeah. Well, because I mean, he kind of had like that Sean Ray-ish physique at the
Okay,
beginning,
yeah,
sort of. I mean, it's just pretty like well, it went well together.
yeah, yeah,
Agreed, just smaller bodybuilder.
pretty much.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's really such a disparity in like what they're going for, and you know what? What actually really frustrates me, and judges don't come after me for this, but from the state to the national to the pro stage, it seems the judging is not consistent,
No,
and this
not
is
at all.
across all divisions.
I think that's what I was
Um,
trying to say, but you said it in a much more eloquent way.
okay, and it's just like, I mean, we'll say for classic, for example, right now, I would argue, I don't think Ramon, I don't think he's the face of classic. I think it's still Mike, even though he didn't win,
Yeah, yeah,
because he's the one that everyone is expecting
yeah,
to bring it. Before that, it was Chris, and that like Chris is more the face of anything.
yeah.
I'm just saying he's competing right now, but it's at the pro level. I even have to make this argument. Like, I don't really know what they're looking for in classic to win a pro, and because it's like
It's so
I see
different.
a lot of them. Like, man, like I'll see like NPC news online or like bodybuilders that borders like post stage shots. So I'm like, oh, I thought those were open bodybuilders
Yeah,
until you said in the caption, classic, open class or whatever. I just thought those were small bodybuilders.
and then another thing too, man, is how do you judge a Terrence Ruffin next to a Ramon next to a Mike? How do you do that? Like I almost feel like there should be a short man classic and a tall man classic, and it shouldn't be weight cap. It should just be height.
Mhm. Well, yeah, I mean that makes even more sense. I mean, just get rid of the weight cap and just go by
Yeah,
the look
yeah,
because the weight cap. Here's the problem with the weight cap. It's talked about over and over again. I think it just causes too much fucking unnecessary stress, and you're not going to get
yes,
the best physique out of that athlete. I
yeah.
mean, it, look what happened to Mike.
I
He had to cut so much fucking weight
think 14
because he
pounds.
thought he was going to weigh. Yeah, he thought he was going to height in at this,
Yeah,
and he heighted in a little bit shorter. I mean, why? If you're going to do the weight cap, I think Fuad's the one who said it. Just like do it like once at the beginning,
yeah,
and that's it across the board. Then you
that would make
never ever
sense.
have to worry about it again.
Yeah, for sure. Unless maybe, let's
But
say, if you wanted to do it again, you could, but you didn't have to.
right, I mean, I don't understand why we have to put these like limitations on these athletes
Yeah, I
because you're
will.
just not going to get the best.
I will say, Classic probably does need a weight cap, not because of anything other than human error, because we see this with the women's divisions.
Mm,
Think like 30 years ago, 20 years ago, how they were judging women's bodybuilding. Oh, X and Y slid. So now we create this division because this is actually what the women's bodybuilding used to be. But now judging criteria has slid and slid and slid. Now we have to create this division. Oh, now this division has done the same thing. We got to create this division. Now we even see it with bikini. Bikini has slid so much that they have to create a fit model division. It's
yep.
like, what's next? Are they just going to remove the fit part of model and it'll be model? Like, what's next?
It's it's.
I could see
I
that
mean,
happening with classic
oh man,
because what if okay, this guy is X amount of pounds and this big and it just becomes a size game. I could see that, but I get where you're coming from too, though.
well, and that's why there needs to be a very set like this is what we're looking for. Like
I
you
just
see
don't
what
think.
you see what Chris Bumstead looks like.
Yeah,
That's it.
I agree.
If your measurements and proportions do not look like that, you do bodybuilding.
I agree.
you're not gonna.
Yeah.
And I mean, because the problem is with the weight caps is you could get a bodybuilder shape to fit into that weight cap, and that's what
Yeah.
happens all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
But I do agree with that point. Don't even get me started about fit model. Be my wife when that. Well, so my wife, she did bodybuilding back when it was just figure and physique, or
Yeah.
figure, physique, and bodybuilding. Um, and so she did figure, and then she did physique, and then and she stopped, but when fit model came out, she's like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like, you know what the fit model pros look like? They look like bikini at the amateur level.
Basically, yeah.
And I don't understand how you're going to give hey, if you want to do a transformation type of contest,
Yes.
that's perfectly fine.
100%.
That's where it belongs, though.
Yep.
Because you are now considering yourself a pro athlete,
Yeah.
and you slap your little wolf pack patch on the thing saying bodybuilder,
Yes.
and you pretend like you know what it's like to suffer. It's like you did a 4-week prep.
Yeah.
You hopefully you weren't on drugs, but you probably were.
Hopefully, man. That's a scary thought.
Hopefully, but I mean, you got people taking whatever, and but I don't know. It's one of those things where I don't think they should be lowering the bar to cater to more people, to bring more people in.
Yeah.
Let's keep this niche sport, and let's keep our little fucked up mindsets how it is,
Yeah.
because this is what makes us us.
It's a catch-22 because on one hand, it's going to fund, hopefully, right? I mean, if they actually use the finances correctly, it's going to fund what you and I want to do more. So that's one way to look at it. But on the other hand, I really do think a lot of the times when the old heads talk about the pro card being devalued, that they're, for the most part, just shooting air. Like, man, maybe with men's physique a little bit, maybe with the Masters cards a little bit, but for the most part, it's still pretty damn hard to turn pro nowadays. When you start to lump in things like fit model, you devalue the card. And there's just no other way to say it. It should be a separate card.
So I'm going to catch flack for this too. I think, especially for those like lower divisions, I don't think you should be able to turn pro and then jump to the next division.
Oh, 100%.
Without having to re-qualify.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you see that happen a lot. But as far as the old heads saying, the pro cards devalued, it's like bodybuilding's never been as big as it is now.
Yeah.
Never.
Not even close.
Like, their national shows, they weren't having fucking 40 people in one class.
Yes. Well, so caveat with that.
If not more.
Yeah, caveat with that, maybe, but they also didn't have a super heavy class back then, right? So it would just be like, everybody jammed into one class, that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, so then it's even bigger then.
Yes.
Because, I mean, sometimes, especially like, so I'm out here in Texas, so nationals.
Oh, yeah.
That show will go on for a long, long time because there's so many people competing. And yes, they give out cards to the top two.
Yes.
But the amount of people in there is astronomical. And anyone who wants to talk shit about a second place pro card, their hero, Chris Bumstead, was a second place pro card winner.
Yep. With nationals, it is such a deep show always. That is a show where I think second place pro card, totally understandable. There are some national level shows that have certain reputations where, okay, maybe we don't want to give out a second pro card, and they don't. They only give out a first place for the class and then the overall. But like nationals is just, I'd say it's the biggest amateur show, period, for turning pro, right?
That USA's.
Yes. Well, the thing with USA is the production has been pretty shit the past like 5 years or so. So it's starting to kind of turn down. But I really think nationals is the king. I would say everybody wants to have that Mr. USA title, but in terms of the most prestigious way to turn pro, regardless. Like, it doesn't matter how you do it. I would say it's nationals.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with you on that point. It's just the mystique about being Mr. USA.
Yeah.
It's not like you're Mr. National. You're the national championship winner. This is not the coordinator for it, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't know, Mr. America. I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. It should have a cooler title for sure. But, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know. You see a lot of the guys that win that Mr. USA title, other than, a few. In the past, people used to do a lot more with it. But what I've seen as of late, honestly, is really the Nationals winners, the Nationals pro qualifiers. Those are the people who are really like making a name for themselves. They're winning shows. So it's like, I don't want to cling on to this amateur title I got three pro show wins under my belt, that type of thing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, the nationals is just super, super deep. And that'll be the show I plan on doing once I qualify.
Yeah.
Just because I'm 35 minutes away from the venue.
Oh yeah, dude. That's the cool thing about the show I'm planning on doing this year. I'm 45 minutes away. It's a cheat code.
Nice.
Cheat code, right?
Sweet. I've never been able to have that before.
Yeah. So
I think the last show I did, I was an hour away, but
that's still not bad though. Like, I've had to drive 3 to 4 hours for both of my other shows.
That was my first one.
Yeah. So going into that, let's get a little bit into your show history. What are the 2 shows that you've done, and what are the upcoming plans you got?
So I did the 2023 Cascading Classic up in Oregon.
Okay.
And 2024 Oregon Open. Got my ass kicked in both. I was a light heavy for my first show. Placed 4th out of 6. So
a little bit better than I did my first show. I placed what was it? I think I placed like 4th or 3rd of 3rd and 4th of 4th or something like that.
Then the next year I came back, bigger, still not in shape. And I placed 4th of 4th. I went up a weight class, even though I shouldn't have. I was definitely the smallest one up on stage. The feedback I did get though was, one of the judges, her name is Jen. She trained at the gym that I trained at, and she's like, "Would you like some of my feedback?" I was like, "Yeah." And she says, "You have amazing shape. You just need more of everything. You need to come in more conditions." So,
I'm actually,
I finally,
or not to cut you off. Go ahead.
What? Oh, I believe I finally have been able to accentuate the shape, and I think I do have enough muscle to be competitive at a local show now.
Oh, for sure.
In bodybuilding. So, yeah, hopefully, I do have plans to compete in December at Battle, Texas.
Okay.
That's going to be a really good show because that's a week before Nationals.
Yeah.
So all the big boys are going to be there. I'll actually be able to see, okay, how do I stack up against national level competitors?
Yeah. So question.
I think it's good.
Question with that. Let's say you win the overall there. Would you take it to Nationals, or would you just pack it in for the year? Because you're right there.
I pack it in for the year.
Okay.
I pack it in for the year. And I have no problem continuing to prep, nothing like that. I just know I don't want to show up at Nationals for the experience.
Yes. Very good point.
I want to show up and I want to be competitive.
Agreed.
And I know in my heart of hearts, for open bodybuilding, I don't have that size yet. My shape is only going to take me so far, but
yeah. So with your height, you're 5'10", correct?
Correct.
So you're 5'10". If you were to, of course, it's going to be different. This is kind of like bodybuilding math. Now nothing is exact, but if you were to cut like right now, you were to start contest prep right now, whereabout do you think you would land on stage? And be a little kind to yourself. Often we'll be our own harshest critics and be like, oh, I'll guess like 5 pounds, 10 pounds under.
205.
205. Okay, so at 210, or sorry, at 5'10", 205. Where do you think that would put you in terms of like the national level?
Oh man, 4th, 3rd calls maybe.
Because for most people, I would agree. But I will say, with your shape, so like most people your height, I think super heavyweight all day, of course. But let's say most people at 5'10", like myself, 5'9", I think I need to be every bit of like 245, probably 235, 245 to like be competitive as super heavyweight. So for 5'9" or 5'10" rather, I would say probably like, really like 250, 255, maybe 260. But with you, your shape is so good. I really think you could probably knock off like 10, 15 pounds of that. I think, hell, honestly, man, at like 235, I think you'd look pretty ridiculous. So that is one thing you got going for you, is that shape will allow you to not have to be quite as heavy.
Thank you. And I've talked with quite a few people about this because uh, the way my body is structured, I don't hold a whole lot of weight.
Yeah.
But the okay, but for how round I am,
Yeah.
and the way things just kind of pop off, I've even been told like, hey, if you get to the top of the heavies,
Yeah.
and just you fucking dice the fuck out, you might actually win.
I could see that, man. I really could. Like,
So
if you could just make it, like, as long as you didn't have to do any like really like tricky shit at the end with diuretics or whatever, if you could like just cruise into the top end of the heavies, I could see that, man. Honestly.
Thank you. And I mean, because it really does throw me off a lot because especially on the Think Big Bodybuilding podcast,
Yeah.
they asked like, they're like, what would I be to be competitive? And Andrew Barry right away said like super heavy, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'd love to be a super heavy, and eventually I will be.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It's a lot of weight.
it's kind of like not necessarily. It is a lot of weight to gain. And I mean, that'd probably take a good 3 years.
Yeah.
But even if you look at the progression that I've taken,
Uh-huh.
if you just looked at the scale weight, you would think I've reverted back so far.
Why is that?
Because when I first started my bodybuilding career, I was more like 230.
Oh, okay. But it's a different look.
So
That's the thing.
I weigh less than. It's a completely different look, but it's way less weight.
Yes.
So, I mean, I got bird bones. Like the way I hold weight, I think it's just it's a mind fuck, and sometimes it really like throws me off. I'm like, man,
And I'm really surprised with it
for me
too. Because like we mentioned earlier, legs typically hold a lot of weight. Like your legs are one of your best body parts. I'm really surprised by that. You really must have like legit hollow bones.
It's like sometimes it feels like when I'm lifting, I'm like I'm strong, but maybe these joints aren't fucking made for like super super heavy weights.
I know mine aren't.
But but for me to actually be like, I want to say like 235 on stage, even, that's still like a good 3 years away.
That's probably like a 270 off season, maybe.
And here's the thing: it's like you never know, because I'm 216 right now, but once I jump on anabolics right away, I put on a good like 5 pounds.
Okay, so we say 220.
I'm freezing right now.
220 for good measure then.
Okay. Well, the heaviest I got in the rebound was 224.
Okay.
Granted, I was it kind of got to like the watery look, and I think that was because I got sick. For some reason, I think after I got sick, my blood sugar it started going up.
Okay.
And I think the GH, I was taking 10 innings of growth, and I think my weight just kind of kept in it. It just kind of held that look until I pulled the GH out, dropped a fuck ton of water.
Oh yeah.
I dropped, I want to say like 5 or 6 pounds or something like that.
Yeah.
And then it looked like I had dieted.
That's what
I'm like 3 weeks.
I'm expecting that to happen with me in a week. Because like it's just like weight is going up and blood sugar is starting to kind of take a turn for the worse. So like it's just my body telling me, all right, you've pushed the gas for too long. It's time to pull back. So I'm expecting to lose shit. I could expect myself to lose up to 8 pounds, 10 pounds within a week or two of starting my cruise.
I was gonna say you could even lose 10 pounds,
Yeah.
but you're gonna feel so good.
Oh, dude, I'll be able to
I
breathe.
honestly, you'd be able to breathe. I think training performance will actually go up.
100%. It always does in a cruise.
Just,
And for the guys that train hard, they know this. It kills me, man. I've known people in my life that literally, if they are not on cycle, the day after their cycle, they won't even go into the gym.
yeah.
It fucking kills me. Because, dude, my training gets better for at least the first 4 weeks of a cruise. At least.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, when I say better, I'm talking like I'm gaining 5 pounds, 10 pounds on lifts every time I'm in the gym.
Well, depending on what compounds you're using, they're still in there
Yeah.
for quite a bit. They're still in there for quite, I want to say, a good like 2-3 weeks.
Maybe,
They're still almost at close to peak levels.
Yeah, I mean, hell, EQ, it might be in there
Depending
for
on what
a
you're
month.
using. Yeah. So I mean, if you see a drop off right away in a cruise, that just tells me, you have a pussy in that training card, man.
Exactly.
You don't really love this. I mean, people who say they can't get stronger in a deficit,
Yes. Big one.
people who say they can't get stronger in a cruise, I'm just like, fucking just go inside yourself and be like, stop being a fucking pussy. Do this because you love this.
Yes.
And go in there and fucking kill shit.
It really is mental too. It is mental, especially in a deficit. Like now, like there's whole other aspects too about like how a contest prep is managed, how hard you're being driven down, how linear that is, things like that. But let's assume that like there's an intelligent coach that is managing recovery, sleep is on track, training performance isn't just dropping for no reason, right? Like it really can be mental at that point. You just have to allow yourself not to get weak. That's what I hear a lot of guys talk about. I watched the podcast. Do you know who Chris Edmonds is?
I do.
I'll watch his podcast with his client, Dave. He calls him Little Dave, which is hilarious because he's like 5'6", 250 or some shit. But they'll talk about how in a contest prep, they do not allow themselves to get weaker. And these are not guys who are slamming, 20 grams of gear or some shit. Like it's reasonable levels that you would expect from national level competitors. And they get the job done because they don't allow themselves the option of failure. And I think a lot of people could benefit from that. And it's tough. It's not easy, but it is very simple. It's extremely mentally challenging to have no energy, maybe even some days not have the will to do it. But at the back of your mind, you just have to always realize, okay, I'm choosing to do this. I can keep my strength, or maybe I even can get a little stronger today if I really fight for this.
Absolutely. So, I've explained this in Discord, but in my mock prep, I got stronger all the way up until the end, and it was literally just because my coach told me to pull back. I think the only lifts I really lost, maybe like a rep on, was like a hack squat. Everything, and my hack squats were programmed all the way at the end of my league days.
Yeah, nice.
So I've already done my biceps. I've already done my extensions. I've already done my leg presses.
Yeah.
And then it's time for my one set of hack squat. And I'm like, all right, let's fucking try to do this. And sometimes it just wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
But, and this is me like having fucking shredded glutes where I can feel every fucking fiber as I'm walking.
Yeah.
And, you have no fucking fat on your feet.
I was just about to say
You're
warming
up like, yeah, you're warming up, and it's like you feel like things are about to break and fall apart, but you're like, you know what? I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna fucking beat my logbook today.
Yep.
And that's gonna be the end of it.
Yeah, it's something that I'm looking forward to really being able to, like, that's the number one focus for me. This prep is going to be maintaining training performance, because anytime that I have lost a lot of muscle in a contest prep, it's when training performance goes down. Like, we have different terms for like fatigue management and things like that, but really at the end of the day, I think it just comes down to keeping your strength. And however you can do that is how you're going to keep the mass. I mean, it just seems to, I guess maybe there's somebody out there who can lose 100 pounds on most of their lifts and keep their muscle, but I'm not one of them. Like all the things that I had that correlate with muscle loss on my last preps were my lifts going down. So I'm going to really fight to make sure I communicate that feedback, because now that I know that Joe's going to be interested in actually hearing that feedback and making adjustments. I really see this prep going pretty damn well for me, and being in that situation that you set up for yourself of continually getting stronger and then having the pullback, not needing to pull back. Cover with you a bit here is your off season, because it sounds like you're going to have a decently long off season. What is it going to be? Probably about 6 months or so from here forward. You said show in December.
Show in December, so we're going to do a 21-week prep.
Okay.
So prep will start say beginning of July.
Okay. So you'll be entering prep right as I'm leaving, basically.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, I'll get to see you diet, then you'll get to see me diet down, man.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. But honestly, I think you're in really good hands now, especially with Joe. I can tell he really cares.
Yeah.
About that, I would say, because me and him have chatted, quite a bit. I would say he's just as invested in his clients as they are invested in their own journey, if not more.
100%. Like I've talked about him. I've talked about him a bunch on the podcast, but I'll always bring up the opportunity to give Joe a shout out, because man, in the past, since August of 2025, it's February of 2026. I got with him for 6 months in August. I just paid him for 6 months in February, and check is written immediately. Like I don't even have to think about it. It was the best 6 months of progress I ever had in my life, and it was the most fun that I had bodybuilding in my entire life, because what I would really sum it down to is of why I enjoyed that period so much and continuing to is, like you said, he is just as invested in my process as I am. So it's like, it feels like you are truly a part of a team now. Whereas every other coaching relationship I've ever had, it's like, oh, you're going to do this. And to a degree, that's what I paid for, right? It's like, okay, I'm paying for somebody to tell me what to do, but it's like, it's nice to be able to communicate a little bit, because I've been working out for 10 years. I've been playing around with hormones for a couple of years now. I try to coach a little on the self my side. Like, I think I have an okay mind for most of the stuff. Let's say, towards the end of contest prep, brains off, like go off. My mind's not working at that point. But especially in an off season, I feel like there is a good amount of flexibility that we can have with a coach and communicate ideas and bounce them off of each other, like X compound, Y compound. I want to do this with my training. What do you think? I think we can do this with the diet. What do you think? And I didn't do that very frequently with Joe, but just the fact that I knew in my mind I could do that at any time felt very liberating.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing I kind of like about him is he kind of gives up like that older big brother vibe.
Yes. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. 100%.
Because I know who your old coach is. Who your old coach is. I'm sure it came off more just like,
it's just very old school, is what I would call it.
It's very old school, and it's kind of just like you don't feel like you
feel like a number.
You feel like you're part of their roster, not like
Well, not even their roster. You just feel like a number in a horde of
a blip. Yes, you're a blip on the screen.
Yes,
you're fucking like, oh, here comes Anson.
Yeah,
or not even Anson. It's probably like client. 137. Raise your hand.
Exactly. Yeah. But enough of me and Joe. It sounds like you have a very similar coaching situation with your coach. So what does that off season look like? What are you guys planning for these next couple of months?
So we definitely we're very similar. I think we have a very similar relationship that you and Joe have. I think we're probably closer though, because we have been friends for years.
Yeah.
Before I signed up with him, and so our brains function pretty similarly in the sense of like we're always trying to collect data, we're always thinking ahead. Literally, I'll hit them up about like, hey, I'm like fucking next year's rebound, next year's off season. What do you think about this?
Yeah.
So we have everything mapped out to a T. So for this off season, I have about, I want to say 5 more weeks left on my cruise. I'm gonna get bloods done in about 4 weeks, just because I want to see where levels at.
Yeah.
And then once I hop on cycle, I'm planning to do, I believe it's 1,200 mix test,
Nice.
400 MPP, 25 proviron,
Okay.
and then AI when needed. And then planning to get blood work done 3 weeks into that. Just because I like to see levels all the time.
So to pick your brain a little on that, proviron. Why?
Yeah. So I actually got the original proviron idea from Kuba. He actually started me on proviron to begin with. But then I also picked Joe's brain a little bit as well. And asked him what the benefits he sees from proviron. And it's just, to sum it up, you just basically get a little bit more out of your cycle.
Okay.
And you also get a little bit of that DHT taking over. So the estrogens, it's going to want to compete for that receptor.
So with that,
I mean,
is that something that you would do if Masteron was not so expensive and hard to get a hold of right now, or are they separate things? Or are you just trying to kind of mimic like what a Masteron does, or?
I'm kind of trying to mimic what a Masteron does. Allegedly, I'm taking care of a Masteron for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
Allegedly, because I allegedly got stocked up way before anything fucking popped out.
Okay, I got you. But still, you don't want to use it if you don't have to, right? Like you want to keep for preps and stuff, so it's understandable.
It's true. Even though you know what gives a really good look? EQ.
Yes, dude.
EQ for prep.
Highly considering talking about Joe with it. Like, Masteron is hard to get a hold of. Like, most of it is fake right now. Even a lot of people's trusted sources it's like the sources testing it themselves, and they're finding that, my powder's fake. So I'm really thinking, why do we even really need it? Now, maybe I have enough to do like maybe the latter half of the show. Maybe the first, let's say like the first 8 to 10 weeks of the 20-week prep. I could just continue to do my off-season cycle of a grab a test, 600 EQ, and 350 MPP. Maybe give or take the MPP. Maybe bump the EQ a bit. I don't know.
So I will give you my take on what I did for my last mock prep. Right, my cycle was 400 test, 600 mass, 600 EQ.
Okay.
No AIs. And I got fucking peeled on that.
I bet.
So libido eventually at the end got fucking tanked, but that's gonna happen once you're fucking lean enough. So you're on that. Your estrogen's probably tanked in the fucking.
Now, do you think proviron would help that? Because I've heard proviron is kind of like a magic pill for that. Oh, okay.
I actually went up to 50 mgs of proviron at the end.
Okay.
And eventually 100, but I'll say 50 milligrams at the halfway point, 100 milligrams at the very, very end. So I think it was more just, it was one of those things of like, you just lean, never been that lean before.
Yeah.
Everything hurts to move. Everything is a thought to you.
Dude.
I remember just like sometimes sitting in my truck, building up the strength to pick my feet up.
Yes.
Like open the door, pick my feet up, and walk myself in the gym.
Like literally having to pick your leg up and move it. That type of shit.
Yeah.
Bro, for me, I like my prep was weird. I feel like I didn't really get in the shape I could have for the show, but my rebound, I kind of did my own thing for a lot of the rebound, and one way or another, I feel like I recomped to the degree on my rebound where I was leaner at 210, 212 than I was on show day at 197. And another reason that I think that is because my libido, I had a very long rebound. It ended up being a 16-week rebound, like on anabolics. Had my best blood work that I'd ever recorded after those, so it was okay. But for 12 weeks of that rebound, which is basically the time that I was doing things by myself, and Joe was with me for the last 4 weeks. For those 12 weeks of the rebound that I was doing my own thing, I had no fucking libido. Like, in the floor. So I think a big part of that does just come from being lean and not having enough body fat on you. Because when Joe got with me, we got my weight up by like 8 pounds the first week and back to normal. Felt like myself again.
So, where were your dietary fats at during the first 12 weeks?
They're always like nothing. He maybe added a little bit of peanut butter in. He maybe added in 10, 15 grams at most.
Well, that's what I mean. So, as you know, for our bodybuilding or physique purposes, dietary fats, it's the thing that's going to be stored as fat the most, right?
Yeah.
But for neurological benefits, they're still needed to be in there at some point.
100%.
And I'll still throw in like the fat you get from chicken or beef as dietary fat.
Oh,
like,
yeah, for sure.
Still fat.
Yeah.
So I think when those are too low, I think libido really takes a hit as well. Because it's almost like you don't even want to be touched.
Dude, it's just this level of almost physical apathy. It's terrible. It's rough, and it's really hard to explain too.
It's hard to explain, especially if you've never been there.
Yes.
Like if someone's never been there, it's hard to explain to someone like, "Hey, this is what it's like," because they're just like, "I have no fucking idea."
Yeah.
But so actually, I had a 12-week rebound.
Okay.
Very very controlled. We started off at 800 test, 800 EQ, 50 trend.
Okay.
I got blood work done 4 weeks into it. Like an amazing blood work. I would say the only thing that was a little off, HDL is going to be a little bit lowered. I just had a 21-week prep.
Bro, mine's always terrible. There's nothing I can do to get it above 20 something.
Well, I mean, if I get it on a cruise, it looks fucking immaculate.
Dude, I could be on a cruise for 20 weeks and that shit wouldn't be above 25. Honestly.
Really?
Yeah, but everything else is perfect. Like the ratio of LDL and everything. So it's just the one. Like when I was natural, my first blood work ever, my HDL was like 18 or 19. My first blood work ever.
Well, then that's what you really want to go by. Then it's like your natural, like where your body's already set. Your body's set point already, and that's why it's so important for people to get blood work done on the natural first before they ever hop on.
Yeah.
But the only thing else that was really off was my estrogen was 7. So, like, okay, and talking to my coach about, I'm like, what do you think we should do? And we were like planning some things. I'm like, oh, I got MPP, we could throw that in there. And he's like, well, we can, but we have no idea, like, if we're going to hold water, like, how much water you're going to hold.
Yeah.
And it could be dangerous on a rebound.
True.
Because it's like, we don't know if it's fat or water being crude.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I got some probe. Some test prop. I'm like, let's just carpet bomb this motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
So I pulled the EQ out for a week, bumped the test up to 1400, and half of that was prompt. Nice. Half of that was E. And then after a week, kept the test at 1400. Dropped the EQ down to 500, did 50 trend.
Okay.
And I would say we got my estrogen under control. I didn't get retested again, but I can tell things were fucking I was starting to blow the fuck up.
Yeah. So one of the ways, you know how people will say like Primo is an AI, EQ is an AI, but Masteron is a SERM, right? So it'll basically manage estrogen at basically like the gyno gland. For most of my rebound, I was on like a gram of test, 500 Masteron. Simple. Simple ratios there. Got my blood work done at the end of that 16-week rebound, and everything was pretty good except my estrogen. My E2 was like 240. Had no side effects though. Wasn't really holding that much water, all things considered. And for eating 6,500 calories, probably like 800 grams of carbs at that time, and the load of test, I would have never known my estrogen was that high. So that, or maybe I had test probe. My Masteron could have been test probe. That could have been it.
Nah, you probably would have gotten some like gyno like size though.
Probably, yeah. I am very resilient to side effects personally. Like I've always been able to run my 100 estrogen, no DHT, no AI or anything. I'll feel fine for the most part.
See, that's great. So I, in the past, I've been quite the opposite. And this is where I think it's so interesting how our bodies will change over time.
Yeah.
And the past cycles that I've done like 700 EQ, 900 tests. And I needed an AI on top of that.
Bro, when I first started, I needed an AI for 100 milligrams of TRT a week.
I used to need it if I went above 400 tests.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, I'm getting sensitive nipples. Shit. God damn it. But I mean now that's why the next cycle we're planning is just like an AI when needed, if needed. Like I want to see.
Yeah. That's a good idea.
And it's not that I have an issue with AI. It's just that I don't want to crush something or use something that's not needed yet.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm always a very, very big believer in like, let's wait to play this card until we actually need it.
Yes. 100%.
For example, in the Discord, someone brought up they were using Mott C or something. I mean, me and another member in there, we were agreeing like, hey, that's something you kind of want to like save till it's needed. Like I have a bunch of Mott C, but my blood sugar's never read above 92.
Yeah, you don't need it.
So it's kind of like I don't. And that was after getting sick.
Yeah.
Or that was like a stick and stick. So it's like a cute thing. I was like, should I run it? Like, no, let's wait till I'm reading above 100. Because my post-pre-annual would read about 80, no higher than that.
You're perfect then. I mean, really, those are the readings that we should care about too. Like, I understand fasted blood glucose and its importance because you want to see how your body's clearing things overnight, but the dawn effect is so real. It is so real. Like I've seen in myself when I was wearing a CGM, I would wake up, it would be 70. Within the next 10, 15 minutes, 100. Just from the cortisol spike in the morning. And, if I would hydrate, things like that, just do my morning routine. Even before I'd even do my fasted cardio, it'd be back down to 75, 80.
Mm-hmm. So another thing I was noticing too is during that rebound, I was having readings anywhere from like 65. And this was fasted only 65, like 75, and then I got sick and then jumped to 90. I was like, oh, the fuck. And then it slowly started dropping back down, and now it's it's like 82, I think 82, somewhere around there. But I'm really wondering, is there truly any benefit to having it lower than 80? I'm thinking, does it really matter that much besides you're noticing you really need to fucking eat?
So fasted, probably not. Postprandials?
Or even postprandials?
Yeah, postprandials, I would say I ideally would want my blood sugar to drop as low as possible, as quickly as possible, as so long as it's not getting to the point where I'm literally going hypo, right? Because that's just going to show me my body is super efficient at clearing food and I'm able to eat again. Because for me, especially when wearing the CGM, if I would, let's say I eat a meal, an hour later, I've already seen my blood sugar spike and it's dropped back down to 60, 70. I'm going to eat again. Now, it could, let's say, drop at 90 and stay there, but just personally from the data I collected for myself, I wouldn't really see that. Like, if it was, let's say, it spikes up to 120 at the peak point of the meal, if it would drop down to 90 and it would just kind of stay around there, I'd even see two spikes sometimes randomly, especially like towards the end as I've gotten heavier. I would see a spike, it would go down, and then I would not eat, and it would go back up again, and then it would go back down again. So it just seems like when you get this really acute action of it dropping down hard, that seems to be when the body is most responsive to take in food. That's complete bro science, but it's just what I noticed myself.
Well, no. So I completely understand that. It's like you want it to jump back down. You don't want to stay in the fucking hundreds, obviously.
Yeah.
But I would say, would there really be much of a difference between being in the mid 80s to mid 70s post-renal?
No, I just don't think it's. I've never seen me personally. I've just never seen it really like get there and stay there. Like if I let's say I see it hit 80, by the time me seeing that, heating up my meal, eating my food, it's dropping down to 70, 60. Like I've just never seen it hold at 80. But let's say if it did hold at 80. I will say it seems to be that would mean that there's still like a little bit of glycogen or sugar in the blood left over. So if I'm eating a meal where it's at 80, right, and then I start eating again, it's going to start at a higher point, right? Whereas versus if it's all the way down here, that peak that it goes up to is not going to be quite as high. I would notice if I'm eating after, let's say my blood sugar drops to 85, right? Maybe after eating at that meal, it'll shoot up to 140, right? But if I'm eating when my blood sugar is, say, 60, or sometimes it would be even like 55, 57, I would notice that peak would be a lot lower. That peak would maybe be, it wouldn't even get over 90 sometimes if I were to eat when it was that low. And it just seems that that's the body being super responsive to that. It's almost like you create like a little bit of an endogenous humalog spike, right? Like.
So, and I noticed that a lot with a lot of the guys taking like Retta and the Moxie as well. So
yes. So I am on Retta, so it could be.
I don't take. Yep. So I don't take Retta. I'm not on any insulin. The rebound, we were pushing 10 IUs the entire time.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I started all that stuff, I'd be fucking reading in those levels too. But I never really noticed myself getting necessarily like fatter really.
Yeah.
Like a little bit softer, but not to the point where it's like, okay, your body's not responding. Like it's still hard.
Yeah.
This is just water.
I think there's a lot to be said about the 10 IU growth for that.
Yeah.
Like, because this is my first off season ever using like bodybuilding dosages of growth, and it's also the off season that I've stayed the leanest. I don't know. I think it's definitely linked.
Well, so we dropped me down to 6 IUs.
Yeah. On the cruise, right?
For the cruise, and we're planning on actually keeping it there for the next push.
Yeah.
And reason being is just because I think for my body type, where I hold a massive amount of water.
Yeah.
I'm like you in the sense of like, yes, 9 or 10 pounds at the end of the day. Fucking that's our everyday life, man, and you can feel it,
bro. It's terrible.
Like you feel it throughout the day, and you're like, oh, fuck it. Like,
yeah.
But we're also doing that because I don't really want to do Retta. I would do Mott's.
That's a good.
But I don't necessarily see a whole lot of it. It's going to be a short cycle. It'll be about 11-week cycle.
Okay.
I don't see a benefit in pushing the growth up for 11 weeks when we're already going to start pushing the growth up in prep.
Okay, so yeah, that was
when the body's super sensitive.
Okay, yeah, that was going to be my question. Is okay, well, are you leaving it for prep? Because if so, that makes a ton of sense. Whereas with me, I'm probably. I mean, I haven't really asked, but I'm doing 10 right now in the growth phase. I would assume we're going to drop down. The way we did it last time is we dropped out growth for an entire week at the beginning of the cruise just to let my body clear water and everything like that. That was really helpful. And then we added it back in at 6.
How lean did you go after?
Dude, it looked like I dropped like 15,
It's
12
like
pounds.
9 day out.
Yeah.
It's like 9 day. You're like, whoa, I actually look great.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
It was amazing, and I hope we do that again. I'm probably just gonna be like, hey, we did this last time. Let's do this again because it worked right. But then we added it back in at 6. Now, caveat with that, I was doing 8 in that following push. I think maybe we had just started 10 or something. I'm pretty sure it was 8 though, and then we had dropped down to 6 after we added it back in. And then now we started it back up at 6, and then 8, and then 10 for basically the last 12 weeks or so of this blast. I don't know what we're going to do with it in contest prep. I could do more. I could do less. I don't really feel a certain type of way about it. I really think it could be a time to push more. But then it's also, on one hand, like, you know, of course, if money wasn't a thing, obviously, I think that would be the best way to go about it. But in prep, you've got all these different levers to pull, right? You've got growth, you've got MOTS-C, you've got SLU, you've got RETA, you've got 5-amino-1-Q, you've got AOD, 9-6, whatever the fuck. Like, there's just all these peptides, and they're all so expensive, and they are worth it because I think that for me personally, that's going to be all those little levers to pull are going to be a great way to make sure that my food can stay as high as possible, that my cardio can stay as low as possible, and my training performance is going to stay as good as ever, as long as possible, not take a hit or maybe even elevate like we were talking about earlier. But it kind of like, can I afford to do 12 IU of growth hormone if I'm going to do all this other shit? Probably not.
Well, let's see. I would say and this is just more of like my theory. I think the best lever in that situation, in prep setting, would be the growth.
Fair point. Now, do you mean
I
for
would
actual like
think
fat loss or for the look in general?
the look and maintaining that roundness.
Okay, yeah. And I've actually, by the way, side
So,
note, I've never done a contest prep on growth.
okay,
At
so
all.
it is fucking, man. I'll tell you this one. It is I'll explain. So my last mock prep it started at 4 IUs,
Yeah.
bumped it to 6, 8, 10. When we hit the 8 and 10 mark, weight didn't really fucking budge all that much.
Yeah.
But it's getting fucking leaner.
Leaner and leaner and leaner. I've heard Andrew Barry talk about that before. Yeah.
And it's like we kept it at 10, I think, at that halfway mark. And I will say the way that my body just stayed around the entire fucking time
Yeah.
was absolutely bizarre.
Kind of like you're almost on insulin without being
eventually,
on insulin, right? That's what it seems like.
I mean, I do have some experience with insulin, but only in off-season settings.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was with the previous coach. We did it a fucking stupid way, in my opinion. We'd be like, you have 50 grams of carbolin.
Oh yeah, God.
Right when you take it, then 50 grams of carbolin intra, and then 50 grams of carbolin post, and then you have to eat,
dude,
like 100 grams of carbs post workout. I just got fat.
Dude, I was about to say that I had that similar approach, and it just got me fat.
Yeah, 5 IUs of insulin. Humalog.
It was probably more like 10. Or no, 9. It was 9.
Oh, okay.
It was 9 pre. I don't think it was 9 intra. Maybe it was 6 intra, and then it was 9 post. That was the approach. It was probably,
so you gotta like run to the bathroom and then poke yourself real quick.
Yep.
Mine was only fucking like 5 IUs pre.
Now I only do 5 pre,
and
it's more than enough.
So I haven't done insulin since working with that coach. I haven't done Lance's since working with that coach or any fast acting.
Yeah.
And it's just I haven't seen a reason to use it.
You haven't needed it.
Especially since I haven't needed it. And it's just like I don't. Even for a fast acting where you're just trying to drive more nutrients in.
Yeah.
I want to say the way that my body will just kind of keep steadily going up in fucking weight.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I don't want to add another thing to add to this list that's going to drive up weight because
Yeah.
at that tail end of the rebound, like halfway in, we stopped increasing food, but I was still gaining probably like 1.5 to 2 pounds a week, and I'm like, okay,
That's been me for the past like 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah.
no,
Yeah. I think a lot of that is just the
well,
body saying that it's just time to pump the brakes a bit. And that is a nice feeling though, because then you can go into that next cruise feeling like I got everything out of that blast that I needed. Like I'm ready for the cruise. That's a great feeling because no one wants to go into a cruise feeling like they still have gas left in the tank. It's not a great feeling.
absolutely not. I remember I would ask my coach, "Oh man, we fucking put on way too fast." I said, "Nah, dude, we're going by the look." But even still, I mean, I look back, it's like it was I went from 196 to like 224.
Okay.
So I mean,
You
that's
know,
not a whole lot of weight necessarily,
that was on
but the look
a
is
12
like
week.
it looks like I ate my fucking test. Yeah, 12 week rebound.
Yeah, so that is close. I think I went from 197 to two. It was either 212 or 215 in that 12-week portion of it. But I was restricting my food too much. Like
Okay.
I needed to put on a bit more weight than I had on. So I probably should have been about 220. So I don't know. Maybe you did it at the right rate. You were probably leaner than I was at 197 too. So
Okay. So I mean, you gotta get to the point where you and my coach look at me and dude,
yeah,
we're still fucking spending like sometimes like we could get ready in 8 weeks if we wanted to.
yeah,
So I mean, this is at the end of the rebound is kind of like is that's about as like fluffy as we want to get.
oh yeah, yeah,
Just because I mean, this will be the first off season where I've actually stayed relatively lean,
yep.
and it's pretty exciting.
It's a really weird feeling, man, because I guess I have one more week left of this off season, then we start pre-prep next week. So I guess I can say I'm basically done with it. And I kept my abs the whole time. I kept some, other than maybe like the last 2 to 3 weeks here, I kept pretty decent lines in my front quad, side leg, glutes and hams, not necessarily all the way there, but you can still see a semblance of things. I think I'd probably like somewhere under 12% body fat, something like that. Whereas in the past, I'm shooting 20, 18%, something like that. Like just washed out waistline. And
Yeah.
you feel more like a bodybuilder when you're able to, shoot the weight up high, but still keep a lot of these lines. It's just that's what I would sum it up as. You feel more like a bodybuilder.
See, I can't fully relate. I'd love to say my weight's super high. maybe that's what I'm like. Oh, the weight doesn't matter because I'm
That's
like,
what you're
oh,
about to
fuck.
do, though. I think I truly think you're primed and ready. You're getting ready for this next growth phase. I mean, I don't see why you can't gain a similar amount of weight and still keep your lines all there. Now, different people, of course, but your blood, like you were mentioning, your blood sugar's in a perfect spot. You've got everything mapped out in a good way here. I mean, Joe says it all the time. I wouldn't put a limit on the amount of muscle you can gain this offseason. Like, we're estimating myself to be in the heavyweights somewhere. Probably like the absolute lowest, probably like 210. I'm 255 right now. Absolute lowest 210. Probably more like 215, 220, something like that. So let's say I competed at 195 basically. That's like a 20 pound, I'm terrible at math, so I guess it's like a 20 pound stage weight increase or something in a year. If I can do that, you can do that. I truly believe that there is no point in putting a limit on these things. Like people say, oh, you can only gain 10 pounds in an off season. You can only gain X, Y, and amount. Like, why? Who said that? Like, why is the reason? There's no, everything we're doing is outside of the bounds of what is recorded scientifically, right? So people try to cite
Absolutely.
these studies, and it's just like, man, that doesn't apply to our cohort.
And sometimes I feel like there's oftentimes I actually feel like there's too many studies, and sometimes it's just kind of like not bury my head in the sand, but just kind of like get
Yeah.
away from all the nuances and stuff like that. I'm like, man, do you think like fucking like Luke Sando or like any of
Yeah.
these other people, do you think they were like so fucking worried about like, oh, I could only maybe hope to put on like 8 pounds this year, 10
Yeah.
pounds this year, or like um
John
I
Meadows.
think people just get too high. Yeah.
Great quote.
John Meadows, I love John Meadows because he had like he told Fuhan something. He's like, listen, I don't know why it works, but it does. You can have to
Yep.
fucking trust me.
And another quote of his
So he was a
is that I'm glad that I didn't wait for the science to tell me that I already knew what I knew was true. Great quote by him. It's something like that. I probably just bastardized it. But John was a guy who absolutely believed in the science, absolutely supported it, but did not allow the confines of what is currently known and researched by them to limit what we're doing over here, which is outside of the confines of it.
well. And here's the thing. I think our bodies are so we both like said in the Discord. We're still fairly new.
Yeah,
Our we have no idea where our fucking ceilings are.
exactly. Yeah,
That's the thing. It's like we have just started doing things properly.
yeah,
That it's like you have no idea like what can really happen now.
exactly.
So I mean, sometimes it's a little demotivating because you'll see like on
Yeah.
Instagram like just these like absolute like freaks like 21 years old and you're
Yep.
like
Yeah, man.
like,
I feel that way a lot with my friend Dan, who I'll have in the show. Man, he's 23 and he looks fucking ridiculous. I don't know if you see him, Dan Derryberry, like national level competitor.
Mhm.
Basically, like kind of in the same area that I am weight wise, but probably like a couple good percent lead. Basically, like if we were to both start competing right now, start contest prep right now, he'd probably have about 10 pounds of muscle on me, that type of thing. And he's 3 years younger than me. That can be a little demotivating to see stuff like that, right? But what I've learned to realize is just we're all in our own lane. We all have our own experiences. And I truly think so long as the effort is here and the genetics are somewhat in the same ballpark, like me, you, Dan, this guy, that guy, we all have pretty good genetics. Like we're not in the situation of just fucking horrible genetics or Ronnie Coleman genetics. And then maybe I'm here, you're here, Dan's here, or some type of, you can label it however you want, but they're all close enough to where I feel like if effort is the highest thing, we're all going to get to the same spot eventually, give or take a year or two here or there. Like there's going to come a point where, not to say that we're necessarily competing against X, Y, and Z guy, but we're competing alongside our peers, right? They're going to get to a certain level, and then just because your body can only hold so much muscle, you can only build at a certain rate after you have advanced a lot. They're going to kind of get it to this area, and then eventually, I believe people catch up. Is kind of what I'm getting at. Like, I don't think these people you see who are 21 years old, they walk around at like 9% body fat year round and just gain 10 pounds of muscle every year. I don't think that they're in all that much of a better spot, because if they were, we'd see them winning pro shows every year, and we're not seeing that.
That's actually a really good point. It's just they just bloomed a little quicker.
Yeah, and I think it's almost just like they have
So
the muscle maturity quicker, but they don't necessarily have the size much quicker, or the other way around. There's always one piece or more that is missing for the person that they have to catch up on. Like for me, I can put on muscle pretty quick, but I have to get in condition. I have to get that detail, or it doesn't matter.
so something I've noticed too is I'm sure I think everyone, if they look hard enough, they'll notice is once someone kind of reaches a certain size,
Yep,
that's kind of where they stay.
to a degree.
And
Yeah.
it's like, so it might look a little bit better here and there, like
Yeah.
a little bit more lines, and then so you generally kind of see that at about like that 10-year of pushing gear,
Yep.
like forward wise. And that's where it's like, okay, that's where you see someone's like, that's where they just kind of cap out.
Yeah.
And like you said, some people, like those phenoms or whatever, they'll get there that much quicker, but then they just stay there.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
It levels out.
It's really weird. And it's like, which one would you prefer, right? Like, it's kind of almost like those guys who get there that quick, they kind of almost miss out on the journey to a degree.
Mm-hmm. I think those guys, honestly, I think they miss out on the discipline.
That too, yeah.
I would because they don't. I don't know if they develop that grit.
Yeah.
They don't because they don't. They sweep the fucking floor with like the local shows, and then they get their pro card, and then they get their ass handed to them. They're like, "I retired. I'm done."
They never learn how to lose.
Yeah, and you're just like, God, like, damn, did you fucking?
Me and you have done that. We've learned how to lose plenty of times.
Yeah, no, it's plenty. Yeah. Whole life.
Yeah, but it builds character, and it builds a mindset that once you are in the driver's seat able to win, you handle it a lot better, and you appreciate it more too. That's the thing. And there's something to be said about kind of climbing the ranks, right? Of a local level show, regional, state level show, national level show, working your way up to the first call out there, getting a pro card, third tier pro, second tier pro, working your way up. I like that type of journey personally, because it would be kind of boring if you did, 2 shows. Your first show, you qualify for national level show. Next year, you win your pro card at national level show. It's like you never really got a chance to get on stage very much, and it's going to take you a couple years of probably embarrassing yourself on a pro stage to really get your presentation down and to build the size that you need to be at that level, right?
Well, that's almost like the unfortunate thing about I think for the people that are on the smaller side, or even let's say like a heavyweight, like when they turn pros as heavyweights, generally they have to like take a 3-year off season, just to be able to get to that open size.
Yeah, think about a bantamweight, bro. Bantamweight turning pro.
No. So okay, I do have a little bit of opinions on that.
Yeah,
like a bantamweight,
they shouldn't be able to, point blank.
Yeah, it's like
it's a new thing.
Those guys, like some of those really small guys, and I don't want to just like throw like hate on them or whatever, right?
No, yeah, they're playing the game. I'm not mad at them. It's the criteria that's the issue.
They're playing, but it's like they don't look like pros.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like they have that card.
Yeah,
but it's like, bro, I'm more developed and I look bigger than you.
Yeah, it's just it's a new thing. Like bantamweights did not used to get pro cards for a very long time. That was for a reason. It was an entry level weight class, right? It's just you go there to get your face in front of the judges, and people don't recognize the value of that anymore. They think if they go to a show, they'd have to win it. Like there's more to it than that. At a certain point, you do have to pay your respects to a degree, and that lower level positions like that can be the way to do that.
I mean, absolutely. It's just like giving them a card almost takes away from, unless you're Tom Burita.
Yes, I was going to say he's the one who's but did he even turn pro as a bantam? Honestly, I don't know.
I think he was a bantam.
Okay.
I think he was one of those small ones.
Yeah. And even at lightweight, I understand. Like it's literally just bantam. Even at lightweight, I understand because 212. But at bantam, bro, that's like 150 pounds. 155.
But that's not bodybuilding.
It's not. It's just not.
You know what I mean? Like, you haven't spent enough time building a physique.
Yeah.
To actually, like, I mean,
that's almost a point to where it should just be a height thing. Like it should be like they shouldn't call 212 anymore. They should call it like something else. I don't know. And then the bantam, the light in the middle. Maybe that's what you qualify for 212 as, something like that. That would make sense. I could be okay with that. But telling me that a 155 pound, 5'4" person is the same quality of pro as the super heavyweight, I have a hard time believing that.
Well, we don't sound the same quality.
Yes.
Everyone knows it's not football.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll put it this: if someone has to question whether you're a pro or not, then you're not a pro.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Um, I've talked with Joe. I've talked with my coach about this as well too. It's like um, it, the pro card is that's what we're after,
Yep.
but the pro physique is much more important.
100%.
Um, just because it's like, for me personally, I would rather have that pro physique, even if I don't
Yes.
get the card,
Yes.
because I achieved something that meant a lot to me.
Yeah, man. Like, not to say that necessarily I would want to look like him, but let's say maybe minus the waist, okay? I would rather look like Dave Palumbo and never turn pro, like that caliber. Like, everybody knows who he is. His physique was amazing, minus this one bad thing. I would rather have that quality physique and never turn pro than be, 170. Like, somehow, let's say I step on stage the first time, I was 170 pounds on stage, somehow got the points to go to here, boom, I'm pro at 180 pounds. 180 pounds on me is not a physique that's worth a damn. So I would rather never turn pro and be able to be 250 on stage one day than the other way around. That's just what it's all about. It's about the look.
You know who actually is super crazy with Palumbo on stage?
Yeah.
Rich Piana.
Dude, I was gonna mention that 1999 look.
I don't know.
Dude.
I don't know if it's that. Dude, if you, like when he fucking did a front last for like, holy fuck, man, Rich used to fucking back in the day. Holy shit,
I was a big Rich is one of the reasons I got into bodybuilding. So like as funny as he was with how he jimmied up his arms and shit towards the end of his life, when people like to say like, oh, Rich had no idea what he was talking about, blah 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 blah, I'll say, okay, let's look at this. 1999, Mr. USA's. Boom. Like, nobody can look at that and say that's a bad physique. And it's actually a very aesthetic physique, too, which is kind of crazy.
Yes, it was. He would look fucking. Did you see my mouth in the middle, too?
Yeah, man.
He looks great.
Yeah.
Like, he was,
like, honestly, that type of shape, like, dream physique. That's amazing.
I mean, I'll say this: Rich Piana retired. I think when I'm retired, I think I kind of want to look like that. Even jimmied up arms.
Dude.
Fucking like, dude,
if you could tell me like you're 100% sure that this is not gonna kill me, fuck it. Hell, calves, dude. Shit. Right now, let's go. Give me them calves.
Yeah.
It's just so unknown, and that's the funny thing too. The last little side tangent here is that whole PMA thing. It's like, you motherfuckers, what are we talking about? Do you not see Richie P, how he had already given you a template for what this looks like, and you're saying that X, Y, and Z looks like PMA? No, man, come on. It's like there's oil, sure, and there's different things, but PMA, most people are not going to be that risky with their physiques.
Here's the thing. What the fuck does it matter?
That too. There you go. Who cares? If it looks good, it looks good.
Here's the thing. It's the same thing. It's like the judges, they don't give a fuck how much you're lifting. They don't give a fuck how much you're eating.
Yep.
They don't give a fuck what you're taking. All they care about is what you look like. If it looks good, it looks fucking good.
Exactly.
I mean, it's a tool. Everyone uses tools. I don't understand why side enhancement is still frowned upon. Me personally, I've never used it, but I'm not opposed to people using it.
I think it's just ignorance is all it is. It's just like people think that putting oil in a delt or in a bicep is going to take it from 13 inches or 15 inches to 21, 22 inches. No, it's not going to do that. It's going to take a 20-inch arm to a 21-inch arm, and it's going to have less detail for the most part. Or if they do it right, you're not going to be able to tell. The past coach that I was with, that was a big thing he stood by, was site enhancement oil, and that was, that was probably half of my protocol in certain body parts. And I can tell you this, my body parts never improved more than when I cut that shit out. Point blank.
I'll say this. I think because I do know quite a bit of people who use side enhancement stuff, right? I think it does take away
yes
more than it gives, especially like
You have to be very careful.
For certain people, it's very acute.
Yes.
And when I say acute, it might look good for a year or two.
Yep.
But then you start seeing the degradation.
Yep.
I mean, a great kind of example is like Derek Lunsford's arms.
Yeah. To a degree, though, he's always had really bad detail in him. So it's like he kind of went from bad to worse. But
has it always been really bad?
It's always been pretty bad, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think it just makes it look smoother eventually.
It can. Yeah. It can, especially like if the person is not careful with it.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like anything. It's like you're filling up something.
Yes.
It's gonna take. The bigger you get, the less detail you're gonna have. I want to say that.
For sure, absolutely.
So
yeah, and it's just a lot of inflammation too. Like for me, the main spot that he wanted me to put it in was my quads, and I can tell you this: my quads were my worst body part until I stopped doing that shit and started working with Joe and actually learned how to train.
Yeah.
So nothing builds muscle if you don't know how to grow it yourself.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to.
And that's what is let's see. I want to say one of my things that have been brought up quite a bit was just arms.
Yeah.
And I would say I have like decent arms. The only thing I will do is I will put my growth in them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes, oftentimes if I'm blasty or whatever, like in my long head or my forehead,
yeah,
I'll put like a mill or whatever of my gear in there.
Yeah.
But honestly, just learning how to train them like any other muscle.
Yeah.
Is what's going to make them grow.
Yeah.
And the reason I bring up arms is because that's where a lot of people put it.
That's where a lot of people put it. And that's another spot where, for example, my last off season where he was having me blast that shit in my arms too, biceps and triceps. I think my arms were like 18 inches. Now doing none of it for... I had stopped doing it of my own volition for a while before just because I was fucking sick of it. But I want to say I've not done it in over a year now, and my arms were 19 and a half on one side and 20 on the other side. So my arms have grown 2.5 inches, 2 inches since I've stopped putting oil on them. And maybe I just don't respond to it personally, but I really think for a lot of people, it takes away the ability to train the muscle properly because you just kind of overload it with oil, and it's hard to really take it to failure. It's hard to explain unless you've actually done it, but it's just not something I'd recommend most people to do. I think that maybe rear delts, honestly, but just put your gear in your rear delts if you want the rear delts to grow. That's about it. But
and they will grow just from that.
Yeah.
Or just learn how to fucking train them.
There you go. Yeah.
Just learn how to train the muscle.
That's the answer for fucking everything, is learn how to train it properly. Learn how to train it accurately. But yeah, we're at a little bit over an hour and a half here. I don't want to take too much more of your time. We had a little bit of technical difficulties earlier, so this has been a bit more than an hour and a half on our end. So I appreciate you. This was an awesome conversation. We'll definitely have to have you back on, either solo or maybe with some other people from the Discord too. I'll run some stuff by you off air. But everybody, his social media stuff will be linked in the description below. I'd highly encourage everyone to join the Discord. We got a nice little community going on there. And is there anything you want to end off with? Anything you want to shout out or anything like that?
I do want to shout out my coach, Chris Cashman. And then I am sponsored by Iron Rebel as well.
Oh yeah, same here.
So
use his code.
You use either mine or Anson's code. Silver BB. But honestly, one thing I just really want people to take away is don't focus too much on the studies.
Yes.
And just really focus on the hard work. And really, really think about what level bodybuilder or what level the part of the journey you're in, and stay in that lane.
Yep.
Don't worry about level 20 if you're at level 2.
Yeah.
If you're at level 2, stay at level 2 and get everything that you can out of it and milk the fuck out of it. Because once you're at level 20, you can't take the shit that you learned at level 2 anymore. It doesn't apply to you anymore.
Absolutely.
So have fun with this journey and don't overcomplicate what doesn't need to be overcomplicated.
100% agree. All right. Thank you guys for making it to the end of this podcast. If you did so, drop a 5-minute crew comment. And yeah, this has been another episode of the Iron Obsession Podcast. Thank you guys for watching.